point a bunch of lasers at a very small target and heat up that very small target as you push the particles of atoms together, hydrogen atoms together, and that creates extra energy. Believe me, it's not just us. All across the world, scientists have been in search of ignition, as you aptly described it, where you put in less energy than you take out. In other words, more energy is created. And this is the first time anywhere in the world, in any laboratory, that it has actually been achieved.
That's U.S. Department of Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm talking about this incredible discovery that was made just the other day. And, well, because it's so hard to explain, including for me.
You did a pretty good job the other day.
Yeah, not really.
You did better than I could have done, that's for sure.
It's complicated, but it's amazing at the same time. It's being called one of the most significant breakthroughs in nuclear fusion and the future, more importantly, of how we can produce clean energy going forward. It was reached by a team of scientists at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California, and our next guest is the lead designer on the team that made that discovery. This is Annie KRITCHER. Annie, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm not sure if we can explain this in layman's terms, but at least let's try. So it's being called an incredible breakthrough because it's different how?
Yeah, so we have had high-yield shots in the past. This specific shot generated more fusion energy output than the amount of laser energy that was used to drive the experiment.
Okay, so that's the good part. We got more energy out than we put in, and that's obviously the objective here. What about how this applies to, when you hear someone say, but this is the most significant breakthrough in the production, or I guess in the production of clean energy going forward, how will that work, and how far are we away from actually having that happen?
Yeah, so ignition is the first crucial step in a clean fusion energy future. So it's an important accomplishment. It demonstrates the power generation with fusion is possible. It's hard to put a timeline on how long it's going to take to get all the pieces together. So this is just the beginning. We're going to need more efficient lasers, higher gain scaled-up designs, many technology developments, target developments, but it does demonstrate the feasibility of this and also starts kind of, accelerating the discussions around it and growing the field quite rapidly, and that will help us bring this to fruition earlier. I think in that same speech, the lab director quoted, anything between 2 to 5 decades. So we're not looking at, a few years or so. We're looking at decades of effort, but this is the start of that.
So 2 questions. Number one, how long did it take us to get here? Because obviously we have nuclear reactors. But the other question I have is this. Would this, when we get to that stage, 2 to 5 decades, is this the idea that it would replace all carbon-based fuel? We wouldn't need that for energy anymore?
So, yes, the second part's a really good question. So how long did it take us to get here? So the first proposal for doing this with lasers, creating these conditions with lasers was 60 years ago, in the 1960s. And so it took quite a bit of time to develop the lasers that were required in the end to reach those conditions. So the NIF laser itself has been operational for about 10 years. And over the course of that 10 years, there's been a lot of learning, and that sort of culminated in being able to make extremely rapid progress in the last 18 months. So progress versus time isn't a one-to-one function. It's hard for a really long time, and then sort of we have rapid progress because there's a bigger breakthrough or solving most of the problems.
How long had you personally been working on it, and how frustrating was it to know for you, but we're on the brink of this amazing discovery for so long?
Yeah, so I joined the lab in 2004 as a undergraduate intern, and I was in a different area, but I saw NIF and I saw about it, and I thought it was really just an awesome facility and experiment. I started work as an experimentalist doing something related, measuring the plasma conditions of these experiments. In my undergraduate at about 2005, and started my graduate work till 2009. Then I became a postdoc here, and then officially a staff member in 2012.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, started designing these particular experiments in around about 2016. And yeah, it's a long, hard road. And when you finally see things starting to be fixed one by one and starting to work, it's hard to describe how that feels.
I wonder too, so you're in the States. Lawrence Livermore is an American institution, but this is obviously a global sort of discovery, possibly, something that will change things for the better for a long, long time. So does the collaborative effort begin now, or do you collaborate with people around the world all the time?
Yeah, we actually do collaborate with people around the world all the time. We have international collaborators. We collaborate with CEA. We collaborate with the British, the French. We collaborate with the private sector, the national labs, academia across the globe, not just in the U.S.
Okay, I'm wondering too, look, I don't understand nuclear reactors other than they're there, and we know that the problems sometimes that occur when you get a radiation leak, we all know what happened. We know 3 Mile Island, we know Chernobyl. Would this, whenever this does become good enough that we can just roll it out and say this is the future, will those become basically unnecessary?
Yeah, I mean, well, in theory, the amount of energy that you can get out of fusion is quite high and impressive, and there's an unlimited source, right? Because it's different forms of hydrogen. So in theory, it could be. I don't want to commit to that because I feel like, we need a big portfolio, and the challenges are going to be high for the technology for this. But it does differ from the current fusion plants, which are, the current nuclear plants, which are fission, not fusion. Right. And so the fission does create has different issues with the waste.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to ask you a super layman's question, but because when we hear words like lasers and nuclear, we imagine evil things that could happen. So could this be used for evil?
No. So the amount of material that we need to create energy out is very small. And actually, they're little mini microfusion explosions. They're about the size of a human hair. And so there's no way to weaponize that, so to speak. And also the facility that surrounds it with the lasers it's too complicated and large to do anything like that.
That's good news.
But don't worry, Natasha. Someone will find a way in a movie to make this seem like it could ruin or blow up the world or something. I'm sure that's coming.
With Dr. Evil.
Yeah, someone will figure it out. Look, first of all, it's obviously...
Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed. Should have said that when we started on this incredible achievement. I mean, and it portends... very, very well, hopefully for the future of the world, not just, North America, but really the entire world. So thanks for being with us, and congratulations on this incredible achievement.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You must be so excited. Before we let you go, just that moment, what was it? I know you said it's hard to find the words to describe, but when as a group, when you've all been working so hard on this, what was the collective response?
Oh, it ranged from tears to disbelief to just that sinking feeling of we are here now and we've done this. So, and the feelings of what is the future going to hold and joy. And so, when I found out the shot actually happened in the middle of the night at 1 a.m. So we kind of found out a little bit here and there beforehand over email or over text, so we didn't actually get to be in the same room when the shot happened. So, but yeah, afterwards the discussions and the all hands meetings to discuss it, it's really been quite special.
Well, I can't imagine what that would have been
like.
I will ask the question because I saw this on one of the reports about seawater being used as a source here. So obviously there's a lot of that. How does that work exactly?
So what we're doing here is we're fusing together 2 light nuclei, which are actually isotopes of hydrogen. Oh. And so it's one is hydrogen with an extra neutron, and one is hydrogen with 2 extra neutrons. And so that's deuterium and tritium. And so the idea is to harvest some of that.
I'm glad I asked.
You should see our faces right now. We're like, okay.
I need to find a better way to explain that.
But still, just so amazing.
Annie, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
There you go. Annie KRITCHER, lead scientist for the Livermore National Lab, and finding this potential new giant change for the way we use energy.
It's incredible.
Amazing story.
Yeah.